revolve around yourself, not others. A strong inspirational discourse. Begin example. Envision remaining at the beginning line of a long-distance race. The weapon discharges, and you take off. Your legs siphon, your breath steadies, and your eyes lock on the end goal. However, at that point, you notice the sprinter close to you pulling ahead. You look over, attempting to measure their speed, their step. In that transient snapshot of interruption, your foot gets a knock, and you stagger. Why? Since your center moved, you quit running your race and began running theirs. This story is a similitude forever. Time after time, we let our center float away from our objectives, our advancement, and our development. All things considered, we focus on others, their accomplishments, their courses of events, their lives. Be that as it may, truly, the second you take your eyes off your own way, you lose force. You lose clearness. Also, you fail to focus on what's genuinely significant, yourself. The force of self-concentration. In a world driven by contest and examination, it's not difficult to fall into the snare of estimating your value by another person's advancement. However, here's the reality. You are your main rivalry. At the point when you center around yourself, you open a strong outlook shift. You start to focus on your development, your bliss, and your motivation. Zeroing in on others is like attempting to drive while seeing another person's path. It's diverting, perilous, and counterproductive. All things being equal, direct your energy internally. Focus on your own excursion. At the point when you do this, you'll find that progress falls into place without a hitch, and harmony follows. Why looking at damages your advancement? At the point when you contrast yourself with others, you lose investment. Consistently spending time stressing over another person's prosperity is a sign you might have put resources into your own development. Sabotage your certainty. Seeing somebody further ahead can cause you to feel deficient, regardless of whether you're gaining incredible headway yourself. Miss your interesting way. Everybody's process is unique. By focusing on another person's course of events, you could pass up on the potential open doors that are intended for you. The most effective method to zero in on yourself. Zeroing in on yourself isn't self-centered. It's fundamental. Here are down-to-earth moves to help you. 1. Put forth private objectives. Ask yourself, what's going on with it that makes me truly care? Disregard cultural assumptions or what others think you ought to accomplish. Characterize accomplishment based on your conditions. Record your goals, and break them into essential stages. Whether it's working on your well-being, propelling your profession, or supporting connections, clearness is critical. 2. Measure your own development. Keep tabs on your development in light of where you began, not where another person is. Ponder your excursion. Did you further develop today compared with yesterday? Commend those little wins, the structure blocks of greater accomplishments. 5. Put resources into self-awareness. Understand books, take courses, and foster new abilities. The more you put resources into yourself, the less you'll want to think about. Development turns into your inspiration, not outer approval. Another point of view. Rival yourself. Consider life an excursion where the main individual you're attempting to outflank is the rendition of you from yesterday. Ask yourself, am I more grounded than I was a year ago? Am I kinder to myself as well as other people? Am I closer to accomplishing my fantasies? At the point when you center around these inquiries, you'll see a shift. Your process becomes about progress, not flawlessness. Furthermore, every forward-moving step, regardless of how little, turns into a triumph. The risks of examination. Examination is a cheat. It takes bliss, certainty, and harmony. This is the way to break free. Recall your interesting way. No two excursions are similar. What works for another person may not work for you, and that is totally fine. Transform jealousy into motivation. Rather than disliking others' prosperity, let it rouse you. Use it as evidence that accomplishing extraordinary things is conceivable. Center around your assets. Everybody has their own abilities and gifts. Embrace yours and use them to cut out your special spot on the planet. Common sense model. The hiker. Picture two hikers. One is centered around their ascension, cautiously setting each hand and foot. Different continues to take a gander at the climber close to them. Who will arrive at the culmination quicker? The response is self-evident. The climber who keeps fixed on their way will make consistent, conscious advancement, while the occupied one endangers slipping or losing themselves. You are that climber. Keep your eyes on your rising. Your process is yours alone, and each forward-moving step merits celebrating. Common sense model. The hiker. Picture two hikers. One is centered around their ascension, cautiously setting each hand and foot. Different continues to take a gander at the climber close to them. Who will arrive at the culmination quicker? The response is self-evident. The climber who keeps fixed on their way will make consistent, conscious advancement, while the occupied one in danger slipping or losing themselves. You are that climber. Keep your eyes on your rising. Your process is yours alone, and each forward-moving step merits celebrating. Last considerations. Eyes on your own path. Life isn't a contest. It's an individual excursion. The main individual you really want to dazzle is the one gazing back at you in the mirror. Relinquish examinations and interruptions. Center around your objectives, your development, and your joy, since by the day's end, the individual who keeps fixed on their way will accomplish definitely more than the person who's continually looking sideways. Thus, the next time you feel enticed to think about it, recollect this: eyes on your own path. The end goal is ahead, and it's hanging tight for you. Run your race. Your future self will be much obliged.